An event graced by President Bola Tinubu, represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima. The event was themed Protecting the Nation and Serving the People, a way forward for the Nigerian Army. For more details, check Punch newspaper. Marketers push 800 naira per litre petrol, seek import licenses. Independent petroleum marketers on Monday pushed for the restoration of importation rights and projected that the pump price of premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol, could fall below 800 naira per litre as the federal government intensified efforts to force down the cost of petrol. The development came as the federal government met with major operators in the downstream petroleum sector, including representatives of the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, over what it described as the disconnect between falling global crude oil prices and the relatively high pump prices of petroleum in the domestic market. For more details, check Punch newspaper. Nigerians starving to death under the ADC to Tinubu. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, has described reports that more than 17 million Nigerians, including infants and young children, are facing acute hunger as a growing humanitarian disaster created by the President Bola Tinubu administration's incompetence, misplaced priorities and failed policies. ADC spokesman Bolaji Abdullahi said Nigerians are dying of starvation under this administration. He was reacting to a United Nations World Food Programme WFP reports showing that more than 17 million Nigerians across 9 conflict-affected northern states are facing acute hunger. For more details, check Daily Post newspaper. Alleged anti-media practices. Federal government orders FCCPC to probe Meta AI complaints. The federal government has directed the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission (FCCPC) to investigate X, formerly Twitter, Meta, other major technology firms, and the generative artificial intelligence (AI) complaints over alleged anti-media and anti-competitive practices in Nigeria. According to a statement released by the FCCPC yesterday, the directive followed a joint petition submitted to the presidency by the Nigerian Press Organization (NPO), comprising the Newspaper Protectors Association of Nigeria (NPAN), the Nigerian Union of Journalists (NUJ), the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria (BON), and the Guide of Corporate Online Publishers (GOCOP). For more details, check Vanguard newspaper. Police arrest PFIPC DG's dad, family friend in Ogbomoso. The police have arrested the father and family member friend of embattled Director General of the purported Presidential Economic Advisory Council, Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, PFIPC, Adeyemi Adeniyi in Osogbo, Oyo State. Recall that Adeniyi has gone into hiding following revelations that he had allegedly scammed the federal government through the creation of the fake Presidential Council. The arrest came on a day Office of Accountant General of the Federation, OAGF, clarified that no Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) account was successfully opened for the controversial council, insisting that no public funds had been released to the body, despite its budgetary allocation contrary to the position of presidential spokesman Bayo Ononuga. For more details, check Vanguard newspaper. Oyedele denies 8.83 trillion naira off budget spending, says no secret expenditure outside budgetary approval. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, has refused the International Monetary Fund's IMF position, as well as the attendant public commentary that the federal government spent approximately 2% of Nigeria's gross domestic product (GDP), translating to over 8 trillion outside approved budget. The minister's rebuttal followed the recent article IV consultation report on Nigeria, as well as a disclosure by the IMF resident representative in Nigeria, Christian Ebeke, that the government left public spending equivalent to about 2% of GDP unreported in recent official budgets, thereby obscuring the country's true financial needs and making the fiscal deficit appear smaller than its actual was. For more details, check this day newspaper. PDP, building infrastructure without providing food will worsen poverty. The Bayelsa State chapter of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has argued that infrastructure without food on the table has made the people of the state poorer and hungrier than we were before coming of Governor Duye Duri's administration. It also berated the alleged inability of the government to name any clear wealth creation, employment generation and poverty alleviation programs, describing it as an admission of failure. The PDP said despite increased revenues accruing to the state through improved derivation and enhanced federal allocations, the living conditions of many citizens have worsened, with hunger and poverty becoming daily realities across communities in the state. The state government had dismissed the claims by PDP that Duri's administration has failed to address hunger and poverty, insisting it has implemented wide-ranging programs and projects aimed at improving residents' welfare over the past 6 years. For more details, check this day newspaper. Oyo school abduction. Tinubu has not called Makinde 50 days after kidnap, Obi said. Presidential candidate of the Nigeria Democratic Congress, NDC, Peter Obi, has criticized President Bola Tinubu for allegedly failing to reach out to Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde more than 50 days after the abduction of school children and teachers in Ogbomoso, describing the development as a reflection of a worsening leadership crisis. In a statement issued on Monday, Obi said he was shocked to learn that Tinubu had not spoken with Makinde over the incident, despite the prolonged captivity of the victims, which he described as a national tragedy. Obi said he traveled to Ibadan on Friday alongside economist and political activist Pat Utomi to express solidarity with Makinde over the abduction and discuss the security situation. According to him, it was during the meeting that he discovered the president had not contacted the Oyo governor over the incident. For more details, check Leadership newspaper. Appeal call to hear suit against the registration of ADC, Accord Party, 3 others today. The Court of Appeal Abuja Division will today hear an appeal challenging the registration of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Accord Party, and 3 other political parties. The appellate court adjourned the hearing date from June 25th, earlier fixed to July 7th today, to enable the parties in the appeal file and exchange their processes field for full-scale hearing. At the proceedings of June 25th counsel for the Accord Party, Musubao Adetunbi San informed the 3-member panel of justice of the appellate court that the record of appeal and final judgment of the Federal High Court obtained on Monday, June 2022 has been transmitted to the Court of Appeal as required by law. The senior lawyer subsequently applied for a short adjournment to enable him and others in the matter file their briefs of argument and exchange same to pave way for hearing of the matter. For more details, check Tribune newspaper. And that wraps up today's top stories. Thank you for staying informed with us here on New City 99.1 FM. For more breaking news, updates, and exclusive reports, keep your dial locked right here. I am Mary Lassisi, wishing you a productive and peaceful day ahead.